So again, Bistro, totally fictional cybersecurity company, but for the next 45 minutes, imagine that that's where Patty and Kara and I are doing AR. And again, the scenario, the context for our first workflow is CMO heading into a meeting with sales leadership needs to know what analysts have told us about our competitors. So that's my mission. And here's I want to show you all what I've set up in Architect to make it really easy for me to surface that intelligence. To start, I'm going to come up here to Insights. I'm going to go to All Insights, and by default, what you all are seeing here are all of the insights that our AR team has captured in Architect from our analyst conversations just all time. That's sort of the default view. Now, to get to the specific set of insights that my CMO needs, I'm going to come over here to my saved views, open this up, and I'm going to navigate to my 2026 competitive intel saved view. And just like that, with 2 clicks in a matter of seconds, I have the exact set of insights that my CMO needs. You can see there's down here in the bottom left, there are 11 insights here. Each one is date stamped. You can see the actual content of the insight, the influencer or analyst who provided the insight, the firm that they work for, and then, of course, very importantly, the associated competitor. So again, what I want to reiterate here before I talk about how this saved view came to be, I just want to reiterate that one of the things we wanted to show you all today are best practices in Architect that can keep specific insights at your fingertips. Because again, I know you all are very busy. Oftentimes requests come in and there's not a lot of lead time. So what can you do in Architect to make sure that what you need is always at your fingertips? It never takes more than a few seconds to get exactly what you need. So this is one way you can do that. So I want to talk about a couple of things. One is how saved views work and how I created this saved view. And then I want to talk about where this competitor information is coming from. So to start, saved views, again, they're over here. The way to think about saved views in Architect is they are shortcuts, essentially, right? So any situation where you're applying multiple filters, multiple kinds of filters, rather than having to apply all those filters every single time you need to get down to that specific set of insights, you just do it once, you save the view and give it a very clear name so that you know how to find it, and then you never have to do it again. Whenever you need that set of insights, you just go to your saved view. So this particular saved view, again, it's 2026 competitive intel. So I'll quickly demonstrate how I created this. Again, just back here at all insights. First, since there's a time component, I'm going to set the time filter. So I'll come over here to my time filters. It's 2026, so I'll say January 1st to December 31st. Apply that, and then what we're looking for are competitive insights. So I'm going to come over here to add additional filters. And I'm going to say competitor is Stratum. Again, all fictional companies. Those of you who work in cybersecurity, let me know how I did with my fake cybersecurity names. I think I did pretty well. So competitor is Stratum, or competitor is Valdrix, or competitor is Ironbot. Those are our 3 competitors in this situation. So I'm going to apply that. And here we go. This is the set of insights that my CMO needs in this situation. So I'm done applying filters. To save this view, I'm just going to come over here to Views and click Save and give it a name, and then it'll be here forever. Anytime I need that set of insights, it's just 2 clicks away. I can grab it in a couple of seconds. So that's the saved view piece of what I showed. And I'll go back to the other component here, of course, is where did this competitor information come from? And this is something that just recently became possible in Architect using a new functionality that we call custom fields for insights. So I want to talk about how that works really quickly and show you all how you can create your own custom fields and give you some ideas for what you might want to create. So I'm going to open up an insight here. I should also say some of you may recognize the analysts. These are real analysts, but the insights are completely fictional. These analysts did not actually tell us these things because these are fictional companies. So here we are on an insight record. And one way to think about custom fields is to think of them in relation to default fields. So it's always been true in Architect that when you log an insight, there are these default fields like categories. So this insight is related to go-to-market or product/service or industry, whatever it may be. The date, of course, so the date that the insight was captured, the influencer or analyst who provided this insight, right? These are fields that this is information that you're always going to want to have on an insight record, which is why they're default. They're there for everybody. But what we've learned is that for any given AR team at any given vendor, there could be kind of limitless ways that you may want to or need to filter your insights, report on your insights. And so the reason we created custom fields is so that you all have that flexibility so that whatever way it is you need to filter or report on your insights, you can do it really easily. So to give you some examples, again, the first one I showed is the competitor field. So I created this custom field in our Architect site, and it's a drop down with our 3 competitors so that whenever I'm logging an insight, if it's related in any way to a competitor, I can just select the competitor, save it, and then in the future, if I need to pull a report of, again, in this situation, competitive insights, it's really easy. If I need to pull a report of just insights related to a specific competitor like Valdrix, equally easy. So that's one example. Patty, credit to Patty for another great idea of a custom insight field. Many of you work for large vendors with multiple business lines, so you may want to be able to report on insights by business line. That's another great example of applying custom fields. So say we have 3 different business lines at Bistro. As I'm logging this insight, I can indicate which business line the insight is relevant to, right? Those are examples of drop-down fields. You could also create these checkboxes. So if you want to be able to pull a report of differentiators, these are the things analysts have told us are our differentiators. Create a field for that, just check a box, and then in the future, again, it's just 2 clicks away, always at your fingertips. So that's custom insight fields. I know it's a lot, but this is being recorded. You'll get the recording. Please ask any questions that you have as they come up. We'll try to get to as many as we can. Last thing I want to share before I pass the 2 other things actually, before passing to Patty. To create your own custom fields for insights, you will come up here to Site, Site Admin, and then Insight Configuration. And now custom fields appears here as a toggle. Come here. And you can see these are the 6 custom fields we've created for our insights at Bistro. To add a new one, you would just come here. As you can see, lots of options in terms of the types of fields you can create. Again, all being recorded, you'll get the recording. Any questions? If you have ideas or if you're wondering, hey, can we create a custom field for this or that, put it in the chat, put it in the Q&A. We'd love to, we can figure it out together live. So to put a bow on this first scenario and first workflow, I'll come back to insights. Again, the way I got here, just by coming to my saved views, 2026 competitive intel, it's right there. And again, my CMO needs this heading into a meeting. So if she's quite literally walking into the meeting and there's no time for me to do any analysis, to do any kind of manipulation here, then I can just export the data to Google Sheets or Excel, send my CMO the spreadsheet, and then she has the raw data. It's better than nothing, right? But I did want to show you all, before passing things over to Patty, say you have 30 minutes. Say say the meeting's in 30 minutes. So you have a little bit of time to go the extra mile here and send something a little bit more actionable than just the raw data. I wanted to show you all an example of what's possible now. If you have great data that you're capturing in Architect and you have access to an LLM like Claude or ChatGPT, Gemini, wherever it may be, the things you can do now in as little as 30 minutes are pretty incredible. So I'm going to show an example. We are no biases, but we're big Claude users here at AR Insights. So I want to show you all something that I did not create this. Greg created this. If Greg's here, hello, Greg. Show you something that Greg created using our Bistro data in Claude. Karen, Patty, can you see?
Yep,
can you see Claude?
I can see it.
So
Yeah.
before I start scrolling, I just want to emphasize all Greg needed to create this report I'm about to show you, Architect data. So hygienic data pulled from Architect where the competitors tagged, other custom fields are tagged, and a prompt in Claude. And within minutes, he had created this. So I'm not going to spend too much time on this, but I want to call out a few things. So you can see here, Claude identified where each competitor is exposed, our 3 competitors. This is really exciting. This is a great call by Greg. He had Claude identify 4 signals with cross-firm consensus. So in other words, looking at the insights we exported from Architect, where are the areas where multiple analysts are telling us the same thing? So for each of these four, you can see that Claude specified the analysts who gave us an insight that supports this signal. This is I think one of the best applications of Architect plus an LLM. And one other, this is also great. Bistro's positioning against each competitor. Again, all of this came from the insights exported from Architect. You can see are the high-level positioning against Ironbind, against Stratum, against Valdrix. Again, I just wanted to share this as, again, a little bit of inspiration or an example of what's possible these days with these AI tools. Only takes, if you have the right data stored in Architect, you have an LLM, you can create something just like this. Patty, anything else you wanted to call out about this output before we move on to our next scenario? Or did I cover everything you wanted to?
I think you covered everything. I did. I think you flagged where it shows you which analysts had provided that input, which I
Yes.
really liked the visual there. So yeah, I think these are great examples of, and you can customize. There might be certain things that each company or even business line is more interested in seeing. So you can
Yes.
just think about what the options might be.